in the overall, the goals that you set, you want to make sure that you've identified, um, okay, you want to make sure that you identify the steps along the way on how you're going to reach that goal. So, we were in a conversation the other day on a Zoom call, and the person actually had that they want to, I want to say that they had a board in the background that said that they want to earn $1 million a year. And they had it broken down and said, I think it was like 800, excuse me, it was like $83,000 per month and a certain dollar amount per day or per week. And they just broke it down step by step. So it turned out that they needed to earn, I don't remember anymore. I wish I could think of what it said, but basically it was like $3 a day or something like that. And I think they even had it broken down to the seconds, which is why it was like, wow, this is crazy. But they literally mapped it out. So if you're not doing things to help generate income that day, then that just pushes that extra dollar amount up that you have to earn each day. So that's why we were like, man, this actually makes a lot of sense, as far as making sure that you identify the steps to attain that goal along the way. And the one thing that a lot of us have problems with is accountability. So we want to make sure that you take that into consideration when you're setting your goals. Who is it that's going to help drive you to attain your goals? Are you going to have an accountability buddy? Are you going to have a mentor, a coach, somebody who's going to help push you along the way? A lot of us will set health and fitness goals that we don't even come close to touching. And it's one of those that uh, sometimes you don't even think about it until it's well after the time frame that you could have made a deep impact. So we want to make sure that you know that you have an accountability partner here who, if you share your goals, we will at least check in with you to say, hey, are you following it? Did you make it? Are you on your way? What'd you do today or what'd you do yesterday that helped get you toward closer to your goal? So that's kind of our.
Yeah, I think you asked, I mean, you mentioned that I always want to make sure that we making them not only smart, most people knows the acronym SMART, but to add the ER at the end, meaning that you're gonna, at one point, you're gonna stop, evaluate, and redirect if needed. And that's something that if you're only doing yearly goal setting, sometimes you don't even have the time to reevaluate and to implement any changes that you might need. So what I would say, do the quarterly, break down your goals into a quarterly achievement, and that will kind of force you to see and reevaluate to see if you're still meeting your goals. But that would be one. And I know that it's this is often overlooked, but I'm telling you, the people that actually sit down and write those goals are more likely to achieve it. 80 to 90% more likely to achieve them. Just the simple act of writing them down. And then especially if you're sharing it and you have an accountability a person, accountability group, that is definitely the for us that was the propelling factor that put a fire on our own feet. To every week we used to have a call. We still have it, but we are a little busy with closing deals. But you could tell when every week that you have to show up and on the Zoom call, that if you didn't meet your goals, you'll be at least reminded. And it just feels like a punch in your gut when you're having to present and the same answer, that 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 you didn't completed them. So that's
uh,
definitely powerful, the accountability portion.
I'm going to say, even Grant has made comment that the last thing of the day that you should do is write down your goals, and the first thing you should do in the morning is write down your goals.
Mhm.
They should match. They should be the first thing you think of every day, and they should be the last thing you think of every day. And that's how you should be obsessed with reaching your goals and obtaining your goals. The checklist of things to do for the day, it's great to have, and it's a great thing to do is to list out the things that you need to get done in a day. But then you need to prioritize within that list. What are the three non-negotiables to get done. And that's what's going to help move that needle for you. If you're not already doing something along those lines, mapping out your goals, mapping out your day, and then prioritizing those things along the way. So, hopefully we're adding some value, giving some insight, and pushing you guys forward. We really would love to see everybody's needle move to the right, progress over perfection, and definitely progress in the right direction is key.
And Barbie, you mentioned that book, the 12-week book. I'm glad you took
12-week
that.
year.
12 year.
12-week
12-week year. If you haven't checked that out, I will highly suggest on that. That explains it better than us trying to educate you on and setting the goals every quarterly. But it gives you a breakdown or even more narrow time frames for you to achieve. We did that as well. So yes, go ahead.
So the next way to grow your business and to accelerate your profitabilities, I guess I'll say, is to grow your network. No matter what business it is, whether it's real estate or an online business, a mom and pop shop, a 7-Eleven, if you grow your network, you'll grow your leads, you'll grow your opportunities, and you'll grow your partners, potential partners. So, a lot of us look at different real estate groups. Think about it also along the lines of different portions of the real estate process. Whatever it is that you're into, whether it's the small stuff, it's wholesaling, selling oil. I said that because I saw Greg in the room. And or if you're doing multifamily and you're trying to do syndications, if you need a capital raise, maybe you need to go to a focused one for that. If you're not used to capital raising, you're not interested in capital raising, it's probably a good one to go to because there's a whole bunch of people there that are interested in doing that. There might even be some there that are successful at it. So why not build that network and have those conversations and just see where things go. If capital raising is not your strong suit, a capital raising event is probably a good spot to be. I'm a big fan of the underwriting and the asset management side of things. Capital raising is fine, but it's not my favorite thing, and so that's where I get my partner from. So no, we have a good time with it all. We enjoy the whole process, but we understand that there's some people that are doing it by themselves, and you can't be the top dog in every section of syndication. There's got to be something that you're lacking in, and the key is to find the partnerships that are going to complement and fill the voids that you might have in your processes.
Absolutely. And if you're here and if you want a copy of my free digital, it's not free, but I can give it to you if you in any ways we'll use it to help you structure your goals. It has quarterly goal settings. You can do motivational, gratitude journaling, and it's everything, and it's digital. Like I use digital because we travel so much. I can't possibly use a hard paper, to carry around the whole year. So if you're interested in it, just type in the chat, and I will open it for you so you can have it for free. And no, yeah, that's a really good book. So, but definitely high priority for the goals. So let's see what else.
So leads, generation of leads through networking.
Oh yeah. So the other questions, majority of the people that we talk to, and if you're a passive investor here, we're gonna switch a little bit to give some information for or people here that are actually syndicating. But if you're looking to raise capital, because that's one of the things that most people, I would say, that when they get started, if they don't have experience, they probably know some people, some in their family, some of their co-workers, maybe they have a niche of potential investors that they need to start addressing. They need to start activating and keeping them warm, as we call it, to potentially come in and be part of their community, and eventually, we'll want that to be converted to an investor, right? And one, you should be able to calculate, and maybe if it's the first deal that you're doing, you might not be able to put a number to your investor. But Cardone and his team always advise, if you can calculate how much each investor will bring you, and that comes with a little bit of experience on being in the GP and getting a compensation schedule or a percentage. But if you already are doing deals and you already know what percentage of equity you get in a deal, allocate a number to each potential investor, or a lead, right? Because when they're not investing with you, they're just leads, right? So then that gives you a number, a metric, so that you can track. Now, getting a person to, from the first time that you make the approach to explain that you're doing syndication or you're raising capital to the time that they invest, it's an average of 12 contacts, to at least for them to recognize you as, okay, oh yeah, I see that you are raising capital, right? Or that you can help me invest in my money, because that's what they're gonna see it as. They don't call it raising capital, right? So one, using the right terminology for who you are addressing, and then two, having the continuous, constant presence in their lives, whether it's social media, email campaigns, a newsletter, blogs, in person. So you want to do at least 12 contacts. So if you're seeing a person on an event that happens twice a year, how long do you think that's going to take, right? So your goal should be to saturate the opportunities to interact with other people. And you can do that again by building your CRM. And if you're interested in listening more about or learning more about CRMs, we can help you with that as well. Put it in the chat so that I don't forget, because I'm going to take a screenshot of the chats. So, but yeah, like I said, we're here to serve you. And if there's any topics that you want to if you want us to address or bring a speaker, we are open to that, actually. Or if you're already in our community, we are bringing speakers for our virtual meetups. So if you are part of that, thank you, May. We'll get that. Oh, awesome. All right. So we do have a partner that helps us with the CRM and managing, and we have a group of virtual assistants that also can share some of their insight and how to stay constant communicating with your potential investors. So yes, going from the first time that you are putting out there a message or a phone call or a Zoom connect to the time that they're going to be investing with you, it's going to take about 12 contacts, and that comes directly from Grant Cardone. I told you at the beginning, we're digesting a lot of that information and the training, and that comes straight from him. So you want to increase the opportunities to interact with them. So one of the things that we always advise when we get this question from people that are new and they want to get successful at raising capital or bringing partners, is that you want to create a way to stay in contact with them. The easiest way, at least for us, is to do a drip campaign, to be automatized, so that you don't have to be the one doing the work, or that you can hire out somebody, because ideally you want to put your time where you are capitalizing it better. So if you're using all of your time and answering emails and creating all this content, you probably are going to be distracted from getting in a deal, right? Or getting on a partnership that's going to bring you actual cash flow. So those are systems that you should be putting in place or working with a team to help you put that in place. So we can definitely invite our CRM experts. We'll make an announcement, but it's probably gonna be next week. We also have a go ahead, because I'm gonna get distracted in this conversation.
Oops, I think I just let it down. Okay. Let's see. So like we said, the network, it's not just about finding partners. There's a lot of different things that your network can do for you. If there's one thing that people have figured out from us, we meet a lot of different people. We've got a very broad network that almost no matter where you're at in the country, if there's something that you have a need for and you're looking for somebody, we probably know somebody who is either in that industry or maybe not in the same state, but maybe they're a state or two over. Maybe they know somebody who can help you out a little bit closer. So that's part of what we do here. We try to help people not just in learning about syndications and passive investing, but we try to help you out with your business. If you have an issue or something that you're dealing with, reach out to us. Let us know. We're happy to try to connect you to somebody in your area that might be able to help you. So it all comes down to that network and being helpful. And um, I know the biggest, I think even Grant said it not too long ago, is that the biggest commodity right now is collaboration. So if we can help collaborate with you to find value for you, to get value for you, that's all we're looking for. We just want to try to help people to advance, because as we advance others, we usually advance as well. So everybody scales up when they're in the same social circles.
We call it the kids grow up, because so at one point we're all kids trying to learn to walk, trying to learn the business, but eventually one day you wake up and you're already walking, and next thing you're running. So we want to make sure that we help you as you're getting started. And if you are already an experienced, or if you an experienced sponsor and you want to unmute yourself and add it to any of this, please feel free to do so, because this is what we want. We want to make sure that we are making contributing to your growth. So please, by any means, please grow up. Yeah. So
Feel
yeah,
free.
and then what that happens is that we get old. So when we are older, we want you guys to remember us, because
The kids take care of their parents. No, not that we're the
right.
parents.
Well, ideally, when we mentor people, we want to make them successful. One, because it shows well for our performance, right? If you the people that we are mentoring and helping are doing deals, are closing deals, increasing their net worth, then that just shows well for us, right? Hopefully, they will bring or refer somebody else to come to the community, and eventually we all grow together.
Yep.
If you close a deal, you have hopefully you consider us, and that comes with, like, growing together. So anyway, networks, I would say a lot of the people that, not a lot of people, but there's these large communities of um, you know real estate um, mindset type of communities. But I will say invite and explore other communities. Like if you are a runner, or if you go to the gym, like talk about what you do all the time. A network doesn't need to be an organized event. It doesn't have to be an expensive event. It doesn't have to need and to have the need for traveling and creating an extra expense. You can find niches. If you join in social media communities, those are free. You can capitalize on that. And again, if you put in a value to a potential lead that then is going to come and invest with you or bring you a deal, you're normally more motivated to do so. I will say one of the podcasts that I recorded probably about a month, no, I'm sorry, a year and a half ago, we had a 1.25 capitalization on that. We had an investor
1.25 million.
I'm sorry, yeah, $1.25 million from one a podcast. So that's just to tell you, if you're not the one speaking on the podcast, that's fine until you get something substantial to share, right? But if you listen to podcasts, reach out to the speaker if you find that there is a connection there. And you'll be surprised how many times you get the opportunity to learn more about them, and maybe help them in any way. So always looking to add value. That's what's going to get you ahead of many people. We get a lot of requests from people that want to get started, but all they do is tech. I mean, I'm not saying come and work for us, but although we are hiring.
We've had the offers.
Yeah, but be mindful on how do you present yourself, even though some of the conversations, like if we are giving your calendar link, we are reading those questions, and a person that fills the form completely is probably going to get a better answer a better session with us than somebody that just like say one word type of responses, right?
Mhm.
So and even in that at that level, you can present yourself. Remember, every interaction in person, by email, virtual, you are selling yourself. You're selling the product of your own self. So however you want to represent yourself, make sure that you're sounding enthusiastic, full of life, full of energy, full of resources. If you don't know the answer, you want to go look for it. So show that kind of personality, and people will be more attracted to you and more likely to return the favor. Hey, but what do you need? You've been showing up in our community. How can I help you? How can I add value? You've been answering, or maybe interacting in the social media. Like, let me help you. We notice stuff like that. And we're saying this because we want you to do the same thing for your own community. Engage them, give them back something. Having no capital is not an excuse to not find a partnership, a good deal, and an opportunity to increase your net worth.
We I want to say that we just had an amazing call this afternoon because of just what she was talking about. That we have a series of questions for the person who wants to meet with us, so that we don't have to go back through and do a big backstory and get the whole story again. And we used to spend like an hour on some of these introductory phone calls, and now we've had to limit that down to 15 minutes because we're busier than we used to be a year and a half ago. And so we tried to make that, how do we still give that same quality conversation, but in less time? And the person really, like, I will say, they put their heart and soul into the questions they asked. They were very pointed. And so prior to the meeting, we were able to review those questions. We kind of came up with our game plan. We still had a couple of questions to get some backstory, a slight bit of backstory, but it was very quick and easy. But we were really able to impact their future journey. We feel, based off of how excited they were about the information they got, and what they said, they really felt like it was impactful. So we're happy to do that, but you have to be willing to put in the effort as well. You get out of it what you put into it, but you shouldn't go into it expecting to get anything out of it. That's kind of the way that I feel about it. And that's, we're telling you guys a lot of helpful interaction to potentially grow this year. But we'd also, at the same time, we don't want you to feel like we're transactional people. Like, we go into, we give and give and give, expecting some time for you to give back. That's not the way that we work. But it's just kind of the way that I guess I'll say the universe works. If you give to the universe eventually brings it back around to you. So
Absolutely. And I would say, of all of this, there's going to be some things that are going to work, and there's some other things that they're not. And you might have 10 calls that take you nowhere, and then you might have one that might get you somewhere close to maybe entering a partnership or finding a way to help somebody, right? So I will say, track your performance, or track your goals, track your actions. Again, categorize how many calls are you doing, how many emails are you sending, how many podcasts are you listening to. You have to be able to put a number to your effort, because that's what's going to give you, do more of what is working, right? That's what Cardone tells you, do more of whatever worked. And if you're willing to do it once, you should be aiming to do it 10 times, whatever it is that you start in your life. If you're going to be underwriting a deal, don't underwrite one deal, right? Underwrite 10 deals. If you're going to go do drugs, don't do it once, do it 10 times, right? Go and commit full time. I'm not saying go do drugs, okay, mom and dad, kids here. So that's the mentality of a 10x mentality. You want to make it succeed, and what is going to help you succeed at any business, any sport, any hobby, is to do a repetition of it. And the sooner that you do it, the faster that you will reach that level of expertise. Because if you're just dipping your toes on the water, it's going to take you a long time before you're underwater and enjoying the water, if that's the case, right? So make sure that if you're taking an action, do it to the highest commitment of your own self, because you want this to work. So when Chris said that we're giving you information that will hopefully help you achieve and and grow this year, it's not hopefully, it's going to make it, it's going to happen if you're committed to it.
Mhm.
If you're measuring, if you're taking action every single day, whether you like it or not, so those are the things I want to share. We want to thank you all for being here. We want to make sure that we're giving you time so that we can answer any questions, comments, or complaints that you might have here. And also we want to ask you a favor. If you feel like this is giving you something of content of value, please share the room. You can just copy the link and then share it to a person or put it on your social media. We want to make sure that we have new people here and new ideas, new challenges, new questions. So we love you guys. We want you to be here as well. So, and Chris is going to add the link to our website where you can get connected with us. If you are not part of our community, we do quite a bit of meetups. We do virtual meetups with other speakers that you get to see and hear from their expertise. We also do this Clubhouse weekly. We do send a blog and a newsletter, and we are increasing to doing more like workshop directed. Like we're doing one this weekend with the overall how to get started and how to come up with money so you can invest in real estate. And there's different ways of doing that legally. So we'll answer those questions. And most of the these interactions, we want to answer your questions. So no question
Thanks
is
for
a
sharing
silly
the room,
question.
guys. We appreciate it. I see that there were 4 shares.
Oh,
So thank you so much. The last comment was like a backup to you saying take action and be committed. And thank you, Heidi, for that. That is definitely a well-praised comment on the side of Cardone, where everything is 100%, be fully committed. And even if you took the wrong action, you're fully committed to doing it. You will figure it out really quick if it's the right action or the wrong action, and you'll be able to change that much faster. If you only kind of partially make the adjustment or you partially go after something, it's going to take you that much longer before you realize that it was or was not the right action to take to be able to end up in a successful position. So be committed. Be committed.
Be committed, and Cardone always mentions the sooner that you fail, the sooner that you succeed. So failure, it's going to be there. It is up to us how soon we want to take it. So again, this is, it's not church, but it's pretty close to it. Is that we want to make sure that you guys are thinking big, that you're thinking action. It's for us. One of the words that it's a reminder every single day. We don't have tattoos, but if we had one, that probably would be one of the words included in that tattoo. But we want to give you some content that you can implement. So I will say social media and digital marketing. That's another of the areas that we get a lot of questions. So if any of you have questions here, please unmute yourself and ask. Otherwise, we'll keep moving down our list of things to share.
I have questions.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am.
I have questions.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Heidi.
Hi, Heidi.
Happy New Year. I'm
Same.
calling it the year of the breakthrough.
There you go.
Oh, I
I
love
love
it.
that.
2023. The
Sweet.
breakthrough, here I come.
There you
Let's
go.
go.
That's
Thank you
fun.
so much for inviting me.
Sure.
Of course.
So my question is, and I read a little bit real fast about you guys. It's amazing. I recently joined the Michael Blank mastermind, and we've been doing a lot of
Repeat that question.
SDAs, analyzing and numbers and spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And on my path, I realized that the strength I have is talking to people, the enthusiasm, the energy. Like I have a hard time shutting up. So I want to play with that strength. And I realized, like, oh, wait, I want to be a capital raiser. I want to bring that type of value to people. I want to be, the money multiplier. What an amazing change in people's lives.
Nice.
So I jumped myself to deals in the mastermind community of Michael Blank, and I missed my mark, but I'm happy that I was in the arena and that I was given the opportunity, and I was able to raise half of my mark. That's not enough, right? Half of it, but I tried, and for me it was amazing to be given the opportunity. So I tried 2 deals, and but that makes me a little bit more closer to my goal and clarity also. So I want to become a capital raiser. I'm a startup. I'm a newbie. I'm a rookie. I have 200. I'm LP in 200 doors. But this is what I want to be. I want to learn to raise money and bring investors to a table and treat them nicely, give them nice returns as well, because investors first. Yeah. So what do you say to a startup? Where's my path? Like, where should I go? I just started my Instagram account, and I'm doing a lot of inspirational content right now, so they get to know me. And I'm going to do educational content. I'm a school teacher, so I love education. I love teaching. That makes me feel truly alive. But my path is changing as well. So where should I go?
Sure.
To become the best capital raiser of all times, I want to break the internet.
I love that.
Tell me what to do.
I love that energy.
Nice.
Show me. I need you to show me, and then from there I go.
There you go. Well, first of all, congratulations on those deals. You know, that's very you know, that's already an achievement to celebrate. So
yes.
One of the things I'll ask about those, and you don't have to answer. You said you missed your mark on each of them. I'm assuming you placed the same mark, and but the big thing was, did you have progress? Did you make more did you bring in more capital the second time than you did the first time?
So it's a little bit tricky, because it was the first one I was able to it was 500, and I was able to have a check writers over the weekend, and this is from the networking that I've been doing with people for 2 years, and the communities that I navigate. So that was half of it, and the other one, I was against that. They had only like 2 to 3 weeks when I heard about it, and I jumped in front of it. Like, I don't know if that was too ambitious or too audacious, but I give it a try anyhow. Because I don't want to be in the blacklist and then like, oh, she doesn't bring it. Right. You know, but I needed to do it. And I was able to do a lot of networking and talk to people and feel it in my brain. But the other one, they didn't proceed. Like when I had a lot of several people, potential people to talk within the week, that they sent me a message saying like, unfortunately, the deal is not going to proceed. So yeah, so that's what happened. So the first one I did it halfway. The other one, it was a time as well. That was
So I'm just going to recap something here. One of the things you're asking about is when you start the capital raise, you know, how can you be successful in that? And from my aspect, I don't remember if you were I don't think you were in the room at the very beginning of this, but we talked about sales. Everything's always be closing, right? Everything's a sales interaction in some way, one way or another. But when you're trying to capital raise, I will say that nothing is as strong of an influencer as your confidence in being able to talk about all aspects of the deal. And so the fact that you said that you've been underwriting some deals and you understand hopefully you understand the underwriting that you're doing, but knowing those numbers, knowing where to find certain things that people ask about and being able to show them. Cardone will tell you, it's show me, don't tell me. So if you can show them the highlights and the main points that you want to get across or that they have questions about, then that adds to your confidence. Like the easier that you're able to pick your way through the pitch deck or pitch your way through, find your way through different information and not have to sit there and think about it for a minute or scramble, you know, hold on, let me look through a couple of different spreadsheets or something along those lines. But if you know where those things are, that confidence level goes up and your investors are more receptive to it. Now, on the other side, Maricela has a few other things to tell you about, but I really believe knowing the numbers is a big deal when you're talking about these investment opportunities, because that's really what it is. It's a trust in you. That's part of what's going to bring them into you, but it's also being able to relay those numbers and how they affect your investor.
Yeah.
Right. True. I agree. So I did a video in Loom, and I sent it to different people, and then I put calls with them to go over it. And yeah, so a lot of them were new investors, and some of them were a little bit more like second deal, third deal. So I try my best to prepare and, you know, to make it simple, and like the most important thing that they need to know, like how long, when am I getting how much, when am I getting my money back, and how much am I getting back? So I practiced a lot, I studied a lot. I made that video, like it took me hours to put it together because I discovered as well. But yeah, I agree to keep working on that, and yeah, so the confidence that they can hear me says a lot, speaks volumes. Absolutely. So totally, I agree, and I'm listening. Yes.
you are touching on a lot of good strategies. I won't call it tips, because waiters get tips. We get strategies, right?
Yes.
So and if you have a something to write and take notes, because then you want to go back and see which of these strategies am I the person that needs to be working on it, or versus how can I choose my team to help me strengthen these areas, right? So one, I would say the credibility. Credibility is everything. We're passive investors. We started doing passive investments. We are still doing passive investments, and I'm telling you, if a person stands in front of me asking me for $50,000, I'm gonna ask questions, right? So having the credibility, whether it's you that one that you know that you're putting money, that you're that you believe in the deal, that you're signing on the loan, all of those are credibility factors. So if you're putting money, make sure you mention that, because that's going to increase the credibility that the person in front of you that you're offering the investment opportunity is going to see, right? If your team has good track record, you know, you obviously, as the first time, you want to do a lot of homework and studying who are you going to do business with for the next 5 years. And we see this in a lot of people trying to get into their first deal or even their second deal, and they're rushing themselves into a partnership. They don't ask the right questions. They you know, they put themselves in situations, they not only themselves, they're investors. So for example, when we invest passively, we want to make sure, we want to study the relationship that this person that is presenting us with the deal has with the entire team. Are they signing on the loan? How much capital they put in? How close did they live from the property? You know, how familiar are they? So the better that you present your team and the credibility of your team, is going to put you at a higher level of the credibility on when you are being, remember, you're selling at this point, you're selling your product, which is in this case your investment opportunity. So you want every aspect of that product. They know that not only the acquisition, the underwriting, that your underwriting has strong skills, that they have done conservative, and be able to say what areas of this underwriting is conservative. We hear that, oh, we do conservative underwriting all day long. Yeah, what does that mean? And if you're the one presenting the deal, you need to understand all of those aspects of the underwriting that you are telling, because most people might not even know to ask you that. But there's going to be one or two that are going to be like asking you all these very detailed questions. So if you don't know it, that's okay. You know, then you have to rely on your team. And that's why the team is important. When you're joining as a first, or when you're getting started, you want to make sure that your team is solid, that your property is solid. Don't jump at any property that is kind of doubting. And of course, nobody's going to tell you, hey, I want you to come and join this team, and we're kind of okay, right? It is your job to decide. It is your job to do the due diligence and to spend time with people that you're going to be doing business with, and not only you, but your investors. So you own that to your investors, because a lot of the times when you're getting started, who do you turn around to ask for money? your own family, right? Do I want my brother to invest with this team? That's the kind of questions that you should be asking. No, don't get so focused on like, and my goal is to raise this much. Yeah, that is important. However, what kind of partnership that you enter in is even more important, and it's going to sound more solid deal when you have a nice team, a credible a nice deal, a credible team. The other thing is, like, I would say, be realistic, and I'm not saying you were unrealistic on your expectations or raises, but what I'm saying is that understand how many people you have in your database. Again, going back to the CRM, how are you tracking that? How do you know how many touches, how many interactions have you had with these people, potential investors? So that comes from having systems in place and measuring them, evaluating them. So let's suppose that I have 1,000 contacts in my mailing list, but I only have 20% opening rate of my interactions by email. All right, well, then you should not be counting on I have 1,000 potential investors, right? So be
you only have
realistic.
about 200 at that point, because
Yeah.
it's only a 20% open rate, and that's if the same 20% are open in the message every time.
So
Sorry.
be able to analyze your own data and to be the one that is going to, from that information, give you a better and more realistic goal on or realistic results. So Cardone always says 10% conversion out of the first contact, 10% of those will actually come and invest or convert. So again, take a look at what you have, what you need to do. Maybe that is your first goal, to increase your database, to increase your amount of calls that you're making, to increase your contacts with the people that you already have in your database. So set those as your goals, right? So be realistic, meaning that if you know that you're not and if you presented me a deal right now, yes, you're in this room, but I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. So don't count those people that you have in your mailing list just because they're there. Make sure that you're like, I call it, when you comb your hair, you're ironing all those little not not wrinkles, but knots, right? Make sure that you understand all of your database, understand your capabilities, and then know what you need to do. So being realistic, be open and communicative
Sure.
with your team, because when you are the one raising and you're the one looking at the money coming in the account or not coming in the account, it's a very stressful time. So you mentioned that, I don't want to have the reputation of not performing. Well, that is when you're staying silent, when you're not communicating with your team, that's probably going to be an assumption that they're going to make about you, right? So
I actually equate that particular scenario to a tenant who's not paying their rent. So would you rather a tenant come to you and tell you, hey, I'm going to be, 3 or 4 days late in getting the rent to you? Or would you rather they just not tell you that they're paying the rent on the 1st, and they don't even tell you that they're going to pay it on the 3rd or the 4th? They just don't say anything. And you try to reach out to them and they ignore you, they don't say anything. And then all of a sudden the money shows up. So for the people who are running that software, who are keeping an eye on the bank account and everything, it's super stressful for them, because they're like, okay, do we need to grab, so do we need to start advertising more? Do we need to go to our list a little bit deeper? Do we need to figure out, like, they're trying to figure out how they bring that money, and they're just trying to figure out how do we get that money in the bank account? And meanwhile, it's coming in 3 days, but you just didn't say anything. So just make sure that you're being communicative. See, she's helping me out. She's rubbing off on me.
Communicative.
With the team, and they appreciate it just as much as you would appreciate them talking to you about it. If there's any changes in the deal or something like that maybe you need to tell your investors along the way, you would want to know that from them right away. You wouldn't want them to hold that information back either.
Yeah, it sounds like you already are. Well, no, I'm going to back up that statement. Role playing, practicing, especially when you're new. If it's a new deal, like, I don't remember the deal that we offered three deals ago. So if I have to talk about that deal, I'm going to have to go back and review and practice and make sure that I have all the materials in front of me. So same thing when you're doing a new deal, you want to make sure that you're practicing that specific deal, not just because you've done races and you kind of know how to guide that conversation. You don't want to get compliant, because that's when failure happens. So again, this comes from Cardone: role play, role play, role play, and then make sure that you're mastering the information. Again, you're gonna be presenting to a potential investor that you're asking them to give you their hard earned money. So you want to make sure that you put in the time. And the last one,
Last strategy.
the last strategy here is to follow up. And I make this mistake before. I send an email and then like, oh, I didn't get a lot of responses. And then I send another email. Like if you did something that didn't work, guess what? You need to be doing something different, right? And most importantly, you need to follow up. Put it on your plate that if they're not getting to you, it's because they're out there working really hard to make the money that they're going to be investing, right? So it is up to us as capital raisers or syndicators that we need to be the ones making the initiative. We go to the grocery store because we kind of have to, right? And they don't have to come back and be like, hey, do you have groceries for today, right? But that's not the case for us. This is not something that people is going to need, and most people don't even think about, like, let me look for another investment opportunity. I think I have enough cash in my account, right? Most people is like trying to guard their investment and save it, and it's our job to educate them and present them with those opportunities. But that's not going to happen if we are not picking up the phone, if you're not sending those emails, if you're not doing all the follow-up. So that will be my last strategy here, to follow up.
And follow up from the point of, if you didn't get a response from 1 or 2 emails, your follow-up should be by a different means. And she alluded to that with a phone call or something like that. Send a video message, send a text, whatever it is you got to do. You send it until the person actually tells you they're not interested in this deal. They don't have to unsubscribe from your list. They don't have to yell in your ear or anything like that. But they can always just say, look, I'm just not interested in this one particular deal right now. Keep me on your list. We've had this a couple of times. Keep me on your list. I still want to see what's going on. I'm just not there right now. I'm not ready at the moment. So, and at that point you can say, okay, I've done everything I can. But I know Maricela has the concept of, it's my duty to put this opportunity in front of you and try to help you make more money than you can make on your own at the moment. So I'm going to do everything I can do to help you reach your journey.
So the other thing that I will say, this follow up and this mindset, and then having I would say the thick skin to take the rejection, right? That's part of the sales cycle. We are going to be rejected. We are going to be dismissed. We are going to be, sometimes loudly be like, get out of my life, stop emailing me. And that's okay. That means that you're doing your job. You're making noise, that you're being present. So but that doesn't, that unless you're like us, that we are on calls with Cardone team every single day, and then we're doing all these calls, and then every day we are exercising that muscle of persistence and consistent. It's gonna be really easy to give up when it gets a little hard. I'll tell you that much. So that's when you having a coach, having somebody that is going to overlook what you're doing, and it's gonna remember, you didn't do your you're not tracking your calls, so you're not, let me hear the conversation you had, so that we can give you the feedback, right? We mentor and we coach. I don't know if we mentioned it this time, but we have been able to help 11 people, and we have 2 more in the pipeline right now that is their first time, that never done a deal. So it takes a lot of work, but for us it's mentorship, so if you don't have that accountability person with the experience, we're having a conversation today with the Cardone team, that some people is going out there and being mentored by somebody that doesn't have the credentials, doesn't have the experience. So what can they give you? They're only looking as far as your nose, just like theirs, because they haven't seen anything farther than that, right? So when you're choosing a community, when you're choosing a mentor, a coach, make sure that that you are picking wisely. You know, even if you're getting for free, you know, even if this room is not free, we are gifting our time. You are investing your time. So when you start putting the price to your own time, you should be very selective on where are you going to be spending it.
And with who?
And with who?
Is there a program? So I bought the Michael Blank Mastermind. And I like it, but I feel like I'm looking around in different places, recommendations, and like something one-on-one, perhaps. Is there any place that you can recommend I go for mentorship, or do you guys want to like? How can I join and learn what you guys are doing? Can you recommend a place to go?
Oh, reach out to us. I just told you that we coached 12 people already successfully get their first deal. So
well, can I be the number 13?
Let's go.
Our website's up at the top, pinned at the top of the room, so you can reach out whenever you want. The one thing I'll say, we said it at the beginning, I don't think you were here yet, but you get out of it what you put into it. So while you're in that mastermind, have you networked with everybody else in that group? Have you had conversations with everybody else in that mastermind at this point and reach out to them on the side?
Yes.
Good.
You're obviously doing your work.
I'm on beast mode.
Yeah.
Good.
Like a beast.
Love it.
Love it.
Yes.
I can
awesome.
feel your energy. No, you're doing it right. But yeah, definitely if you want to reach out, we can definitely have a conversation.
Yep.
And it is incredible how this whole hour just went through.
It went quick there.
So quick.
But thank you for that question, because that was good
Thank
detail
you so
that it'll help more than just yourself. It'll help a lot of other people in this room as well. I do want to point out that Greg does capital raising for oil wells.
Yeah.
And he is pretty skilled at it as well. And he threw in some comments into the chat there for you. That says how much people always want to know, how much is the investment? How risky is it? How quickly will I get my money back? And how much money can I make? Yeah, and then communication is always the key. So never underestimate the selfie video text. But what I want to say is it needs to be genuine. It can't be a scripted rinse and repeat necessarily. Don't get me wrong, it can be, but if you can be authentic with a script that you're using over and over, more power to you. I don't know how to do that. So just make sure that it is an authentic selfie video, that you're reaching out to the person. Hey, I truly do want to help you out and get into this opportunity. Let's book a call, or let's have some time together, at least review the stuff, you know, something along those lines, whatever it is you want to pass around in the video. But just make sure that you come across as being genuine.
Awesome. But we want to thank you all for being here. That's funny, Greg. I love that. Why you're not talking? But anyway, no, thank you guys for being here. We appreciate your time. We hope we added some value. We hope that you can come back next week, every Wednesday, every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. And if you, we have a meetup over the weekend, a virtual, and then we have something next week. So if you're not in our database to be in contact with us, please reach out by using the link on the website above, and that
it'll get you to our social media, all the other avenues, phone number, book a call with us, whatever you guys need whatever you need.
Oh, you know, I'm gonna be booking a call with you guys. It's 9 o'clock here, but
please do.
For me tomorrow.
Thanks, Heidi. And
thank you so much, guys.
Thanks to all you guys for coming out. We appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out and sharing the room. Again, we'll be back on Clubhouse next week at the same time, 7 Central. And look forward to talking to you all again. Have a great week.
All right, bye, guys. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Unmuted, right?
Yeah. Hey, Christian, we wanted to record this intro videos so that you can have them for making the announcements for the Clubhouse, and also let you know that there's some areas where I was blowing my nose. Please clip that. Nobody needs to see that. But here we go. So we're gonna be announcing first the Clubhouse, and then we do a virtual meetup every Thursday, so that you can have that. All right. So here's the camera. You show me how to do it.
Hey everybody, we just wanted to let you know that we're doing Clubhouse again on Wednesday night, 7 Central. Please make sure to come out, follow Maricela on our social media, and you will definitely get the information that we're opening the room.
Once that you become a member of the club, then you're gonna get notifications once that we are live. But just put it in your calendar, that way you know it's there. It's a Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, and it's only 1 hour. So please join us and bring your questions. Doesn't matter what level of experience you have. We are gonna be entertaining all questions presented. So, and we are looking to bring some speakers as well. So be on the lookout for that. These calls are not recorded, so only if you're in the room, you get that information. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you there. Bye-bye. Okay, the next one is going to be for the virtual meetups.
I would have just gone right into it rather than... Hi, everybody. It's that time of the month again. What time of month is that?
Virtual meetup.
It's the third Thursday, 7 Central, third Thursday every month. We do a virtual meetup related to apartment investing and trying to help you on your general partnership path. And
we bring amazing speakers, and you will get so much value. You'll get so much experience from them sharing all of their years of experience. We keep it diversified so that we can touch on capital raising, asset management, finding deals, funding your deals, joining partnerships, and many other topics. So we're looking forward to seeing you in the room. And this is a free event. It's a virtual event, so no traveling, no expenses inquired. And you can share that link with your friends or anyone that you think that this might bring value to. And we're growing our community, so we're looking forward for you to be a part of this. Thank you.
If you want to see some of our previous ones, you can always go to our website at up-plex.com. That's upplex.com, and route through to our YouTube channel. We've got previous meetups and other informational material on our YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
One more we do for the introduction for the YouTube channel, to say, hey, welcome to the YouTube channel. This is the place where we want to put all these resources, blah, blah, blah.
Click the link below.
Yeah. So let's do that. Okay, Christian, this is going to be for
He heard the conversation.
Oh. Introduction to the YouTube channel. So here you go. Hello, everybody. We wanted to thank you for joining and subscribing to this channel. This is a space where we share our experience, we share other speakers' experience, and all of that is aimed to increase your knowledge base for investing in apartments or any kind of assets in the real estate. So we wanted to make sure that you know that we are bringing not only our content, but also other expert content. And we're uploading these short videos, long videos, so you get to choose. Most of the stuff you don't have to be in front of the TV or watching on the screen. You can just play and be on the go, because that's what we do. We are Up Plex on the go.
Plex on the go. And so we hope to be able to provide value to you to help you on your journey. One of the other things that we would love to have is comments, reviews, and shares. If you're looking for specific material, you want some specific material covered, please reach out, let us know at up-plex.com. That's upplex.com. Just reach out, send us a message, and give us some ideas. We would love to provide as much value as possible to you. And if we know what you're looking for, we can do that a lot easier. Thanks.
Remember, our goal is to elevate all of you with our content, with our partnerships. Our other goal is to build up passive income through investing in real estate. And that's what we've done successfully. So we want to help you achieve the same. That's what we're here. We want to elevate your journey. Thank you. Subscribe, like, support, share, and see you around. Down. Yes.
Click
down,
the link.
down. Bye.
See you guys. All right. Thanks a lot. See you later, Christian.
It's okay.